when suffering becomes a mask, and when it turns deadly. Some topics lie in the shadows, not because they should be taboo, but because they touch all of us. Yet so few really look. Today we're talking about a subject that people barely whisper about: suicide. If you're struggling right now, know that you are heard, and stay with me until the end. There's vital information on where to get help immediately. There are topics we only whisper about. Suicide is one of them. Not because it's too dark, but because it's often misunderstood. Many who are serious about it remain silent, and many who just seek attention shout loudly. We live in a time where pain has almost become a lifestyle, where social media is full of "I can't take it anymore" posts, but hardly anyone asks why. Meanwhile, those who are truly at the end don't speak up, because they don't trust anyone to believe them. It's tragic and confusing for everyone watching from the outside, because there are two worlds: those who suffer silently and those who shout but have settled into their own drama. Some people only know themselves in pain. They don't know who they are without the drama to talk about. Their suffering has become a part of their identity. And then there are the others, the ones who go quiet. They start quietly organizing their things, saying goodbye without anyone noticing. They don't want attention, they want peace, and this silence is dangerous. Why don't people always believe them? Because too many have used pain as a weapon. Because they learned, if I suffer, I get attention, and that destroys trust, even towards those who truly need help. It's a dilemma. We want to show compassion, but we also sense when someone manipulates it. It leaves an inner conflict that numbs up. How can we tell the difference? It's not always easy. Those who are truly suicidal often appear calm, almost relieved, because they feel they've made a decision, while those seeking attention are loud, dramatic, and inconsistent. Still, every expression should be taken seriously until it's clear that it's not. No one loses when we show compassion, but we do lose people when we believe too late. Now let's move into the second part of this truth. When someone dies by suicide, the first question people ask is, was it their choice? Was it a choice? Or was it selfish? I need you to hear this, to understand this. It was neither. A choice means freedom. Suicide is not freedom, it's a breakdown. It happens when the brain is overtaken by illness, depression, trauma, and despair. These conditions literally change brain chemistry. They distort thoughts patterns. They narrow perspective so much that pain seems permanent and escape feels like the only option. The part of the brain responsible for seeking help, accepting support, or thinking rationally about alternatives is the very part impaired in this state. People in such a crisis do not sit and weigh pros and cons. They don't think, maybe I should call someone. That's our projection of a rational, healthy mind onto a brain in emergency mode. When the brain is so sick, the illness itself can override logical thinking. So no, it's not selfish. It's not a lack of love. It's not that they didn't care about those around them. On the contrary, they often drown in guilt, convinced they are a burden. That's the distortion the illness causes. When we start seeing it this way, without blame, without judgment, but with compassion and understanding, then we can begin to make a difference. We stop asking, why didn't they choose differently? And start asking, how can we create systems of safety, support, and treatment so fewer people are ever pushed this far? Because suicide is not weakness, it's an illness. And the only response that can heal is compassion. If you're listening right now and feel like you can't go on, please stay. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. Help does exist, and you don't have to face this alone. If you're in the US, call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Free, confidential, available 24/7. In the UK, call Samaritans at 116 123. In Germany, call Telefonseelsorge 0800 111 0111 or 0800 111 0222 0800 111 0111. Free 24/7. Worldwide you can find local hotlines at findthehelpline.com. Please reach out. Your life is not a mistake and you're not alone. Thank you for listening.